In a world where power and control are everything, the novel Powerless by Lauren Roberts immerses listeners in a thrilling and captivating tale that will have them on the edge of their seats. The audiobook takes us on a journey of self-discovery, betrayal, and a battle against overwhelming forces that seem impossible to overcome. Chapter 4 continues to push the boundaries of suspense and intrigue, revealing secrets and hidden agendas that will leave listeners desperate to know what happens next. The story unfolds in a society where some individuals are born with extraordinary abilities, powers that allow them to manipulate their environment, control others, and achieve feats that are nothing short of miraculous. However, these abilities come at a high price. The protagonist, a seemingly ordinary individual, finds themselves caught in the crossfire of a world that revolves around power and dominance. In this chapter, the protagonist is forced to confront their own lack of power and face the harsh reality of living in a world where those with abilities control everything. The protagonist's life has been a series of struggles, trying to navigate a society where power dynamics dictate every aspect of existence. Having grown up in the shadow of others with far greater abilities, they have always felt small and insignificant. But in Chapter 4, a significant turning point occurs. The protagonist is faced with an unexpected revelation that shakes the very foundation of everything they thought they knew about themselves and the world around them. The discovery sends shockwaves through their mind, and the stakes are raised higher than ever before. As the protagonist grapples with their newfound knowledge, they begin to realize that they are not as powerless as they once believed. Chapter 4 marks a pivotal moment where they begin to question the system they've grown up in, and whether there might be a way to escape the control of those who hold all the power. However, the path to freedom is anything but clear. The protagonist is forced to make difficult choices, weighing the risks of defying the established order against the potential for something greater. Each decision becomes more crucial as they navigate a treacherous landscape where loyalty, trust, and betrayal hang in the balance. The audiobook's pacing is expertly crafted to keep listeners on the edge of their seats, with twists and turns that will leave them breathless. Chapter 4 delves deep into the complexities of the protagonist's relationships with others, revealing the hidden motivations of those around them. Friendships are tested, alliances are formed and broken, and the lines between right and wrong become increasingly blurred. The protagonist's journey is not just a physical one, but an emotional and psychological rollercoaster, as they confront their deepest fears and desires. One of the most compelling aspects of Powerless is the exploration of what it means to truly have power. The novel challenges the conventional notions of strength and vulnerability, forcing the protagonist and the reader to reconsider what it means to be powerful in a world where power is everything. Through the protagonist's internal struggle, listeners are reminded that power is not just about the ability to control others, but about the strength to control oneself and make choices in the face of overwhelming odds. In Chapter 4, the author also delves into the theme of identity, as the protagonist begins to question who they really are. Are they defined by the powers they lack, or can they forge their own path regardless of what others think? This internal conflict adds depth and nuance to the story, making the protagonist's journey all the more compelling. As the protagonist struggles with their sense of self, they are forced to confront the reality of the world they live in and decide whether they will accept the limitations imposed upon them or fight for a future where they can choose their own destiny. But the journey is not without its dangers. In Chapter 4, the protagonist is faced with increasingly hostile forces that seek to control or eliminate them. As the stakes grow higher, the protagonist's survival instincts kick in, and they begin to take bold risks. These high-stakes moments are balanced with quieter, more introspective moments, where the protagonist reflects on their past and considers the kind of person they want to become. It is in these moments of self-reflection that the true power of the story lies, as the protagonist's growth and transformation become the central focus of the narrative. In the background, a larger conspiracy begins to unfold, one that threatens to upend the delicate balance of power in the world. As the protagonist becomes more entangled in this web of deceit and manipulation, they begin to realize that the stakes are much higher than they initially thought. The world they inhabit is on the brink of a massive shift, and the choices they make in Chapter 4 will have far-reaching consequences. The tension builds as the protagonist navigates these dangerous waters, unsure of who to trust and what to believe. The world-building in Powerless is richly detailed, with Lauren Roberts creating a society that feels both familiar and unsettling. The dynamics of power and control are explored in depth, offering listeners a glimpse into a world where the strong dominate and the weak are left to survive in whatever way they can. This world is full of secrets, lies, and hidden agendas, and every character seems to have something to hide. As the protagonist delves deeper into this world, they uncover more than they bargained for, leading to a dramatic and unforgettable conclusion that will leave listeners wanting more. Chapter 4 is a turning point in the narrative, as the protagonist begins to embrace their potential and challenge the status quo. It is a chapter filled with moments of tension, revelation, and action, as the protagonist grapples with the realization that they may be the key to changing the future. The audiobook's expertly crafted narrative keeps listeners engaged from start to finish, with the promise of more twists and turns to come. In conclusion, Powerless by Lauren Roberts is a gripping and thought-provoking audiobook that explores the nature of power, identity, and self-discovery. Chapter 4 is a pivotal moment in the story, filled with emotional depth and high stakes that will keep listeners hooked. The protagonist's journey is one of transformation, as they navigate a world that seeks to control them while discovering their own inner strength. With its richly developed world-building, complex characters, and unpredictable plot, Powerless is a must-listen for anyone who loves a story filled with tension, mystery, and unforgettable twists.